So these wonderful grains. So the fiber content, how it is built. When you harvest the grass, you allow the grain to dry along with the grass. Then the final coating of lignans gets onto the grain. So you dry the grain, dehusk, then you soak and eat the lignans, the ultimate PMF, that proton motive force, actually is in a pool of electrons. Lignans is the precursor of wood. So that's how it maintains all the balance. Electronic waste that you create in your metabolism is all taken by the lignans. And that is what is actually the fiber of these wonderful grains, soluble and insoluble. The soluble fiber of different grains cleans up your different parts of the body. And that's how it imparts beautiful health for you. So now what do you need? For being healthy, you have to clean up your body on a daily basis. So it's not just good enough going around and eating glucose and producing energy, but that also produces toxic metabolic waste, and if you do not remove daily basis, you become sick. So even if you are eating millets, slow and steady regulation of glucose, despite that being so, if you do not clean your toxic waste that is produced on a daily basis, you are going to be sick. So lo and behold, what God does, it gives the lignans, extra things, nowhere else you get, to clean up your body. So the lignans of these wonderful grains, little millet, clean up your genital organs. So all your hormone imbalance, your PCOD, your this, that, fibroid in the breast, fibroid in the uterus, a whole uterus is coming down, just push it up and do this, do that. All those things tightened up in no time if you eat little millet. Why does it do that? Because it has this wonderful fiber which is directing itself into the job of cleaning your vital genital organs. Of course, that's for women and for men who are wanting to have sperm, because sperm, even regeneration of sperm, azoospermia, and various kinds of conditions of sperm not being produced. Even if they are produced, they are crooked. Even if they are crooked, they cannot move. All these conditions, they have different names. All that can be wiped out in a matter of 6 months if you eat 3 days of little millet and the remaining millets each day. In fact, there is a lot of tables produced, protocols, which we have not fed here. And this is finger millet, okay? If someone has control, can you just get and show the salmon? This is the little millet I have talked about. Now, udal, barnyard millet, as I told you, Japanese millet, German millet, Russian millet. This fiber, which has 10% fiber. And Samalu has got 9.8% fiber. In fact, we have wonderful pictures of the crop and all that in the literature. You can go and see. Yeah. And I will talk to you about bajra, ragi, jowar. They are actually having the fiber not enough. It is between 1.2 and 3.6. Final check for quality and quantity there. That's what is these wonderful grains are doing for you. And the barnyard millet fiber does cleaning up of all your soft parts. That is your liver, your kidney, and your pancreas, and your spleen. You know what is spleen? Spleen is actually the blood circulation, the final supervisor, quality control fellow, spleen. So if you screw up your spleen, you don't have control over quality of your blood. And that is the problem, splenomegaly, in fact cancer of spleen and all that. All that can be just washed away in no time with this barnyard millet. And then kodo millet. Kodo millet, what it does, this pinkish called arikalu, the top one. It has its fiber, all these vishama jvaragalu, all poisonous fevers. you can actually deal with, if you have that pill, you want to feed humbly of Arikalu for your kids or for yourself. So, and it so happens you can even clean up your cancerous conditions. So blood cancer, leukemia, AML, CML, all kinds of names, thalassemia, you keep it, just transfusing blood every week. We have cured hundreds of kids with these conditions. Within 6 months, they don't need to have any transfusion. And before, because of hemoglobin not being there, you have breathing trouble, this trouble, infection troubles, all that disappear in a matter of 6 months to 2 years. Arikalu. So Arikalu 3 days, remaining grains each day one in a week. So you keep rotating the food. So depending upon the disease that you have, you want to choose your grain for larger period of time in a week. But you need all the grains because you have other parts too. So this is the reason why you want to eat all these 5 grains, because all these 5 grains put together are cleaning your body on a weekly basis or 10 days once. So if you want to be healthy, you want to eat all the 5 grains. Don't mix. Why mix? You should not mix. If you mix all the 5, you can only eat this much. So the fiber content of each quality to clean up your different organs becomes very less. It's like this. Chamundi Betta is there in Mysore. You have 1,000 steps. So if you climb 1,000 steps, you will see Chamundi. But every day you climb 300 and come down. 300 come down. 300 come down. You can climb 10 years, you will not see Chamundi. So that's how this is. Plus if you mix everything, you are like climbing 300 steps and coming down. Because the enough is not there. So you eat kodo for 3 days, you clean up your bone marrow. You eat foxtail millet, it cleans up your lungs and nerves. So that's how all these differently abled, all nervous disorders, paralysis, Alzheimer's. When did I marry you? Are you my wife? That is the problem with Alzheimer's. They don't know who they are, where they are. And that rate is increasing in America. So I believe now 16 people or so. And in India also we are almost 3 or 4 out of 100 are Alzheimer's disease. Because you are eating the same rubbish as these guys are eating, you are going to get the same disease. We are importing everything, diseases too. This is the problem. So all these nervous related can be wiped out in a matter of saying. We have cured hundreds of Parkinson's problems. They were not able to sign, now they are driving cars. In fact, in the bank they need to get notary for each and every time. Now all bank fellows, hundreds of fellows, completely cured. No problems whatsoever. No problems whatsoever. So they have to eat foxtail millet and so brown top millet. The ratio, the lowest, because there's 12.5 fiber content, it has got a wonderful capacity to clean from your mouth to ants. So that means it is the base. So all things are going through your zinc. That itself is not all right. How do you get it right? So you have gastric problem, cactus problem, this problem, that. All things can be wiped out in a matter of 6 months if you eat brown top millet for 3 days and the remaining each one. Andukola. You understand now each millet, how and why you need to eat the way you need to eat. So don't eat all mixed. This is multi-grain. These are all business fellows. So all when they are processing, everything is fallen down. They want to not to waste. That also. So see, this is good for you. This is good for you. This is so all the mix is much better than. See the logic they are using to fool you. It's not right. So never eat anything mixed. So don't mix all the grains and then say it's good. No, it's not good. The same thing. Fruit salad, this salad, all mix everything. This Western culture is everything mixed. Don't mix things. Eat things because in nature things come separately. There are seasons. So potato season, banana season, jackfruit season, mango season. Because God knows you have to eat individually. So don't keep mixing everything. That's not the right. But then we have in the name of science produce carrot all the 12 months. And that is wrong. So please go back, learn what is the season of the production of each vegetable and all separately. So in that particular month, eat that more. So eggplant, of course you are getting eggplant all through, right? And not all through, any time, any day, night and day, all frozen, throw into them. That's not the way you eat. Okra, it has a season. So because all vegetables do not come in winter, all vegetables do not come. So you should know what is what. And that knowledge is completely evaporated because of this industrial food culture. And it has been so wonderful if you visit different places on this planet, different vegetables, different timing. It's amazing. So all these things we need to get back the human consciousness. And there is enormous amount of knowledge that is being lost in each. It's not only the animals and plants that we are losing the knowledge. And that is much more so in India, because we have plenty. I don't think any country on this planet has so much information that we have. And it's so wonderful. Actually, it has been, it's nerve-wracking pleasure for me to learn these things, because after I went back, all 24 hours I have been involved in learning. And people actually have been telling I have been teaching. No, I am not teaching. Actually, I have been learning all the time. So many wonderful things. It's all just, I'm awestruck. And just being, like a kid, I'm just flabbergasted. The amount of knowledge that we have with various places, various kinds of, in fact, just cooking. So beautiful in different places. Wonderful. And the logic and the science of how they make, why they make, how do they make. And just for example, when you heat the oil, all these so-called carcinogenic things, you can just nullify in a moment if you just splash mustard seed. That's how? Yeah. See? Because there is a chemical thiocyanamide, it just takes away all the superoxide. Turmeric. Like this, I just wanted to share my journey and knowledge. I don't say it's not mine for your kind information. I'm just learning. But it just flashes. It's so wonderful. I'm only trying to understand it in the so-called modern science also. But it's wonderful things are there. And then that's what these wonderful grains are all about. That's what. Everyone should eat all these 5 grains.
What is the order of days?
Once in 2 days or once in 3 days. It's not very straight. But what happens is people tend to get liking to one. I like kodo. So keep eating kodo. So what happens? You keep cleaning your only bone marrow. Other things, you will become sick. So I started eating kodo. My lungs, because your breathing can get, because you are not cleaning that. That's the thing. It's unsustainable if of course I told you in my lecture for fun that you give me water, I'll feed the whole globe. Everyone has to, I cannot go and feed the globe. See, that's the problem. See, we will give you the information. I don't want to even teach. Give you the information. So everyone is capable of doing things.
But it will grow anywhere.
Anywhere. I am done actually. I have given you all the information about the millets. And honey, there are no bees. And all the honey that you are getting is all hocus pocus. Nothing is there, it is other than sugar, syrup in different forms. That's it. Not even fructose, it's actually your sugarcane syrup only. It's flooded with glucose. But they say, just like your olive oil,
Most adulterated oil.
Yeah, absolutely. So, honey bees you have in your forest, collect the honey, it's okay, no problem. But in a plastic bottle, 2 kilos of honey, Please don't touch it. And all these 5-star hotels you go, oh, honey is good for you. Nothing, no good for you. So they are all fooling. So if I told you, if you stop drinking milk, we can close down half hospitals. If you stop drinking coffee and tea, we can close down another 25%. And if you stop eating meat, we can close 100%. And we need some of them for ICU emergency. So we'll open back 5%. Thank you. Yeah, sweet is something left. So we all have been now addicted to sugar, and we want sweets. Without sweets, what is life? But God has given enough, called palm jaggery. The palm trees, palmaceae, we have millions of them on this planet here. Tati chettu, heatth chettu, fish type jeeluga chettu. There are 5 different kinds of palm trees which are growing freely. You don't need to do anything. You just have to start making good. That's called jaggery. And it is good because it is fructose based. So you eat good as much as you want, but don't overeat. Everything has to be balanced. And how do you get balance with these grains? You cannot eat more because the fiber soak spreads just beautiful. So you eat this much, you are done. In fact, I eat in the morning, I don't need to eat at all. And many people think it is not getting digested because you are not hungry. You are not hungry because it is releasing glucose in quantums, slow and steady. And that is the thing. In fact, me and Raj made idlis and ate in the morning in the plane, and no food is required for us till in the night. In fact, I can just see myself through even the night. Many days. So, in Kannada there is one saying, Oppattunduva yogi, Ippattunduva bhogi, Muvattunduva rogi, Nalpattundu ettondu hogi. So, eat twice, you are good. Morning once, evening. But then what are these doctors telling? Gastric problem. Every 2 hours eat. 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So no other work for us. Right? That's why you order on Zomato, keep eating. You understand the problem? So like this, the methods, the ways we are doing things, all has been commercialized. Instead of being scientific, we have become, that's why I call industrial food culture, just consuming culture. We are consuming the planet. Whereas this conserving culture, we need to shift. So from consuming culture to conserving culture, industrial food culture to ecological model. So we are now all living in economic model. Start thinking about living in an ecological model. Please, it is very important. Why it is important? If you guys do it here, then people will follow. So I blabber around so much in India. Now some fellow I come here and fellow calls, hey, eat millets. No, all people start eating it. That's why I come here now and then, because you guys call up and tell once, all people start listen. It's not listen, it is AP. They want to do whatever you do, they want to do. So if you change here, things start happening elsewhere. And then we need to change these Americans too. Those guys are suffering more than us actually. But they don't know that they are suffering. And that is the problem. So through you, we can dent into their consciousness. So you start growing and you become disease free. Then they will say, how is this happening? And they will start taking the cue, and then things start happening. And that is the whole point. And that's why I said, when you said I am doing service, no, it's my responsibility. Thank you again. Thank you.